All right, so this is what I found out for 05, 06, 07, 08, 09 cars, all these 3 valves. If you're doing a manual swap, some of these cars from what I was reading is 05 through 06 on the oil pan. Is it on this side? Yeah, it's on this side. That sensor right here, that's a oil temperature sensor. And I thought this was the oil leveler sender, but I'm guessing that's not. That's what I read, is that's not the level sender. But on that harness, it would have, so it goes your AC, and then this goes right under the AC compressor, and then this one's to the oil pan. But what I'm gonna have them do, since this harness does not have one, it just has, I need to splice this one because it's the same color, just different end for the compressor. See, same color, black with the, I guess like a tannish with a white green, but it's like a completely different connector for the compressor. So this one, same thing, white, greenish with a tan and a black. So this one I'm gonna need a splice for the compressor to work, so I can have AC, because I'm in Texas and it's hot as fuck out here. It goes to the compressor, and then this one is the same connector, which I figured out. Same connector. Actually, let me put them side by side. Same connector, and that's gonna go right next to the compressor, and then it goes down, and then this one has the extra one for the oil pan heater, the oil temp. But I'm guessing I'm not gonna need that, so I'm gonna need to tune it out when I get tuned. My tuner's got to tune it out of the PCM. And then, so this harness is not gonna have the oil heater. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that sensor. I guess I'm just gonna keep it there. Cause I thought it was the oil pressure sender, or the oil pressure sensor, but it's gonna be, I can't really get down. I don't want to get all the way down there, but it's gonna be right behind the oil filter. It's like right down where this wire goes down. So that's their oil pressure sensor. So I was just worried about that, because if my oil pressure sensor wasn't working, the car would go straight into limp mode, and you would not be able to even drive this car without it throwing the car into limp mode, because it has no oil pressure. So that's what my concern was, and that's what I was trying to figure out with this harness, because there's different connectors on this end, but everything else on my other end was perfect on the manual swap. So oil pressure sensor, all those connectors the same, except this side you may have trouble with that compressor sensor and the oil pan heater sensor, or oil temperature sensor. And then what I also got to look out for is this fucker right here. This is called a C110 connector. Some of them don't come with it. This one came off my original harness, and I tried to splice it while I was trying to see if the wires would work. But then I was counting them again, and it only had 9. This one had 10, or reverse. I forget which one it is. But let me show you the original harness, if I could find it somewhere. It's more of a round box shape. It's, I don't know where it's at actually. But yeah, this is gonna be the manual swap. I already got the MGW shifter, transmission. I bought a new sensor for the, I think this is a reverse lockout sensor, or the speed sensor. I can't remember which one that one is. I have to look at the diagram again. But yeah, this is just the wiring issues that I was having with my manual to automatic swap, or automatic to manual swap. So this is my 5R550 automatic piece of shit. Blew up on me on the highway, and I was like, why put another 5R550 when you can put a Tremec 3650 in there and have a Tremec trans. Drive shaft, I don't believe you need a different one. I'm pretty sure they're the same length for the transmission housings. I gotta measure them again and measure the pipe, the drive shaft, and see if it will fit. If not, then I'm probably gonna have to source one out somewhere again in the Facebook post. But I was using this wire and everything to go look. It's a big old mess because it's like a 3-month process. Because I was trying to figure everything out. It blew, the transmission blew, and then I had to figure everything out by myself and kind of just buy everything as I was coming in. So I was using everything to figure this out. So yeah, and then I got the whole wiring set up again. I'm gonna need to replace some of them because some of them are just like broken. Like this one just pops out and it like doesn't clip. So I'm gonna need to figure that one out. And then there's another one somewhere I need to figure out too. Oh, for some reason, I pulled the coil out. The whole fucking thing came out with it. So I'm gonna need to buy a new coil pack. And this car has been sitting here for about 3 months under this tarp. But I got mostly everything already aligned. I turned on the car runs and everything. My gauge turned on, my dash turned on. I had no check engine lights. I got my shifter boot in already. You're gonna need the pedal assembly. It comes with the brake and the clutch. And then what you're gonna do is, I don't know, you can't see that, but you're gonna have to wire it in, or not wire it, but there's a hydraulic hose. That's gonna go straight through your firewall right here. See, this is where I'm plugging my AEM gauge. You see the wire. It's literally, let's see if it'll focus. It's literally just the firewall. You rip it open, and then there's this little T cap right here. You're just gonna cut it, put it on. You should be good with this reservoir. This is just gonna be your brake fluid. It's just gonna go straight into it. And then I need to buy the other braided steel hose that goes down into the slave cylinder for when I get the actual transmission in it, so I can have that hose. And then, let's see, PCM, I kept it the same. My tuner said you can revert it, this one, to manual. I bought another PCM, but it's for an 07 manual car. And he said it's just more hassle to do it because you're gonna have to reprogram literally everything. So you probably have to do a fuse box, new key, reprogram the key to the car, get a new key that fits to that, the ignition and everything like that. So it's just a big hassle, so I didn't want to go through that. He said he could just retune it right here, and I could keep the PCM and the fuse box the same. Everything's the same under there. It's nothing different, nothing new. But yeah, I bought this harness originally at first. Everything was going good, except this connector for the oil pan is also different on 06, 05 and 06 cars. I think these are different for the oil pans. And then this one it's a C110 to connect to the PCM was also different. So I was trying to splice the wires, and see which wires are gonna be the right colors. I was trying to see which one goes to which, see a diagram. It ended up not working, and I almost overheated the PCM. Actually, it gave me a code for it, so I just disconnected it, threw it away, and bought another harness. Luckily, this harness has the C110 connector already, but like I said, I'm gonna need to splice this AC wire, and then it should be good. And then delete the tune for the other wire that goes to the oil pan. And then buy the clutch kit, because right now I just have the I just have the transmission and my MGW shifter right now. So that's all I have. And then I literally pulled it out with this Harbor Freight fucking thing. This is like a budget, completely budget build. I may have lost some of my bolts actually, but I'll sort that out later. I mean, I try to like, I put cardboard boxes and cut out holes and try to put it in there, but I still lost some. But what I did is I tried to just put the bolts right back on the trans, bolt up the starter motor right up to the trans, and then keep the bolts back in here. Actually, you're gonna need new ones for the drive shaft. These are one-time torque. They sell these on like AutoZone and O'Reilly's. These are one-time torque bolts for your drive shaft. You can reuse them, but I've heard it's not recommended. They're one-time torque bolts, so when you pull them out, they're not really usable again. And yeah, I gotta figure out everything still for this. And from there, I'll just keep going. Oh, there's more of my bolts that I needed for my alternator. Or no, this is for the, what are these? These are for my, whatchamacallit? Put those right there. Those are for my power to ground to my starter. So it's gonna go on these ones. When I hook up the starter, I put it back in the trans. So, yeah, this is a pretty big project. A lot of problems and a lot of difficulties with these engine harnesses because they are different. Basically, each year they changed, especially going to manual to auto. They're gonna change a good amount, but I haven't seen any. I was trying to look at diagrams for this harness going down to the oil filter and PCM and everything, and I couldn't find it, so I just kind of had to do everything on my own to figure it out. So yeah, this is basically it, and I'll keep y'all guys updated when the swap is done and let y'all know if I find any more problems and fix them, and I could probably help y'all guys out.